Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we really need to talk about this anxiety. It's everywhere in the professional world right now. You see the headlines, right? Meta, Salesforce, big layoffs. And AI is, well, it's often named as a key driver. Like those 4,000 customer service jobs just gone.
Yeah, it's definitely causing ripples. People are genuinely scared about being replaced by machines that seem, frankly, smarter.
Exactly, smarter machines. So that's the conflict we're diving into. AI's intelligence versus, well, what makes us uniquely human and valuable.
But our sources frame this really interestingly. They say the key differentiator isn't just intelligence. It's something they call being fierce.
Fierce. Okay, what does that mean in this context?
It means active decision-making, having the courage to face the consequences of those decisions, taking real, genuine responsibility. AI can calculate, but it can't own an outcome in the same way. That's human.
Okay. Fierce as in taking responsibility. I like that. But, if AI can process everything online and do tasks perfectly, how does being fierce actually, protect your job? Does it apply the same way for everyone, say, a salesperson versus a coder?
It does, fundamentally,
Yeah.
because the value is shifting. Think about it. Information that's easy to find online, its value is actually collapsing. What's becoming scarce, the real gold content, is stuff you get physically.
Physically. You mean like face-to-face?
Exactly. Face-to-face meetings, private conversations, the kind of stuff where you pick up on implicit cues, context, things that aren't written down anywhere.
Ah, like that example from the source, visiting that Six Little Dragons company in Hangzhou. Why was that visit more valuable than just reading their annual report?
Because you see the dynamics, the body language, the unwritten rules of how they operate, information shared behind closed doors. AI can't scrape that from a website, you see. That kind of insight is becoming premium, scarce.
Okay, that makes sense for high-level strategy. But what about experts? Let's take doctors. If AI diagnosis is getting so good, maybe even better than human doctors, what's left for the human expert?
Their role changes. They become the translator. They're not the sole source of knowledge anymore. Their skill is using precise language to get the best out of the AI tool, frame the query correctly.
Ah, so talking to the AI effectively.
Right. And then, crucially, translating the AI's complex professional judgment back into human terms for the patient or client.
All right.
They bridge that gap. They're essential connectors.
So the expert becomes a translator. Interesting. Where are we seeing the most job displacement then? Which roles are most vulnerable right now?
The data seems pretty clear. Junior programmers.
Really? Why them specifically?
Well, companies are hiring fewer juniors because AI can handle a big chunk, maybe nearly half, of that more routine coding work. But interestingly, senior programmers, they're still needed.
Why is that?
Because they do more than just code. Meetings, negotiation, understanding complex requirements. That all requires that fierce proactivity we talked about. Human interaction skills.
Okay, so let's switch gears. What about non-technical people, the liberal arts grads, for instance? If AI synthesizes knowledge, where's their edge? How do they build their professional moat?
Their moat, according to the sources, is built on influencing human hearts. Things like prestige, style, aesthetic judgment, things AI struggles with.
Okay, influence and aesthetics. How do you cultivate that? Any practical advice?
Yeah, the sources get specific. Deep reading, especially novels, to understand complex social situations. And interestingly, contemporary Chinese history.
Wow, that is specific. Why Chinese history? Is the idea that understanding that particular context gives you a sort of unique worldview right now?
Precisely. It's about building a really robust, nuanced worldview. Political literacy, seeing systemic connections AI might miss. Combine that with actually practicing leadership, finding problems, solving them, building resilience. You can't be thin-skinned anymore.
Resilience is key. Okay, you mentioned authenticity earlier. Some people might actually prefer a perfect digital companion. Why are the sources so sure real, imperfect humans will remain more valuable than, say, digital clones?
It comes down to scarcity and evolution. A digital clone, it's static. It represents the past version of someone.
Right, snapshot.
Exactly. But a real person, they evolve every single day. New experiences, new thoughts. That perfect AI celebrity girlfriend might seem appealing, but she's replicable. Your real, imperfect partner, they're scarce, unique, living value.
Okay, shifting back to the technical side. How do people, especially those starting out, avoid that vulnerable junior programmer phase? How do they build competence fast?
Computer education needs a major shift. Forget just learning syntax. It has to be about independent, start-to-finish project completion.
Building a portfolio, like
Yeah.
on GitHub.
Yes, a strong GitHub portfolio is crucial. It shows you don't just code, you have product thinking. You understand the whole process, the why behind the code, customer needs, solving the actual problem. Thinking like a mini CEO for your project.
Got it. And for everyone, technical or not, how should we use AI effectively? Use it as a tool without letting it, dull our own thinking.
Two main ways. Use it for inspiration.
Yeah.
Feed it weird concepts, images. See what surprising connections it makes. Let it spark your ideas.
Okay, inspiration. What else?
And use it for research. Let it find the raw material. But then you have to do the work. Grab the highlights, filter, inject your own style, your own perspective.
But there's a danger there, right? Relying too much on summaries.
Huge danger. The sources warn that people's ability to do deep reading is already declining because they just skim AI summaries. Efficiency is good, but it often just means more work gets piled on, so you need even sharper filtering skills, making smart trade-offs.
Okay, so if I try to pull these threads together, it sounds like the ultimate protection, the universal moat, combines that deep, maybe implicit business knowledge with proactivity.
Exactly. It's about anticipating needs, providing suggestions that align with the bigger picture, the company strategy, even if your boss hasn't explicitly asked for them. That kind of proactive value is incredibly hard to replace.
So develop the skills, cultivate the mindset. What's the final piece? How do you ensure your professional safety isn't tied just to one company?
You have to leave a public trace. Make your work visible.
Wow.
Code on GitHub. Write insightful articles. Share knowledge in online communities. Speak at events. Build your reputation within the industry. You work for the community, for your field, not just your current employer. That visibility is your safety net.
Which brings us full circle to that book title our expert wrote, Man is Fiercer Than AI. It sounds powerful, but isn't there a risk? Linking human value so tightly to bearing consequences? Are we sort of romanticizing struggle here?
I don't think it's romanticizing struggle. It's about having skin in the game. AI runs on a server. It doesn't feel loss. It doesn't pay the price if a decision goes wrong. It doesn't carry that weight.
The only being that truly has the incentive to make meaningful, active, sometimes difficult decisions is the one who has to live with the results. That's what being fierce really means. So the challenge for you listening is maybe to shift gears. Stop just passively absorbing information. Start making more active choices, decisions where you own the outcome. That's how you shape your world and your professional identity in the age of AI.